Okay.
Don't like the sound of that.
All right. No, it's good surprise. It's funny stuff. All right. So, okay.
Let us know, Reza, before you start, okay?
I'm ready on these two cameras.
Okay, perfect. All right. You know what I need to do with that one to start with? We're gonna crack the peanuts, and I want the camera to be really close when we crack it. So I'll take some of the peanuts.
Or if you want to take the bag and then
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the bag.
grab
Put it
the
right
food
here.
out.
Should we
Okay,
advertise
that's
them at the
good.
same time?
So
It's
Reza,
okay
I
if we
can,
make a mess. Don't worry.
yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, because this is called down to the crack, so
Okay.
we're not doing any adjustments, so I'm gonna crack a peanut to represent the method here, okay? And then, but we're gonna crack it together, and I'm gonna tell you how we're
Alright,
gonna do
crack.
this. It's gonna be so funny. So then you bring it close, we'll crack it together,
Yeah.
and then you could bring the camera back and put it back.
Let me do with this one
Okay.
and leave this one.
Oh,
white.
okay, then you give me that later?
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
it's
good.
easy.
Yeah,
Good.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're gonna do.
Alright, so let me see here. Oh, let me move this. Is that good? That's
Yeah.
all the shot? Okay, good. Alright, let me see. What did I just do? Hold on.
Ja, för så vet single and act.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Alright, perfect. So, alright. Let's see how I'm gonna do this. Alright. Ready? Okay, you ready, Senator?
I
Let's
think
do
so.
this. Okay. Welcome to Down to the Crack podcast. And we have, I want to introduce my next guest. Actually, I'll have her introduce herself. What is your name and what do you do?
Well, thank you so much. I am State Senator Ghazala Hashmi, and I'm the Democratic nominee for Lieutenant Governor in Virginia.
Perfect. So now, since we're not doing adjustments on this episode, what I'm going to do to represent, we got some amazing Virginia peanuts.
Peanuts,
I
well,
heard
please.
these are your favorites? Is
I
that what I
love
heard?
peanuts. I especially love Virginia peanuts.
I heard, are they salty or not salty?
These are salted, I
You gotta
believe.
have the salted. Okay. All right. So bring it closer. Let's crack that and find. Come closer with the camera. Bring it. It's okay. Just bring it. I'm gonna edit the whole thing. So, ready? Let's go right in front. All right. We're gonna try this.
There we
So, you promised me these are good.
Lovely peanuts.
Oh my God, dropped them. Okay, that's okay. Made a whole mess. Senator, yours flew off. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna try. So, you ready? You got this? Okay.
They're good,
Yeah,
aren't they?
they're good. All right.
Nice and salty.
I'm gonna enjoy this before. This might be the last peanut before Trump throws out all the immigrants. So.
Well, he's going to put tariffs on our peanuts, too.
Oh no. All right. Well, we're gonna put a stop in that. I heard. So, I need some water now. Senator, you want some water? It's okay. We're gonna edit. Oh my God, my mouth went dry. Okay, it's okay. Oh my God. We should have thought of it. See, these are things you gotta think for the future. Senator, here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
It's okay. You can leave it in case you want more water. Is that good?
It was good, thank you.
All right, perfect. We're gonna hold that. That's perfect. All right.
And that's the recording?
Yeah, both.
So recording? Okay. Got everything? All right.
But your camera is gonna be this one, if
Yes.
you want to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because you're speaking
that's
to
a
my
good
camera.
point. Yeah, yeah. That's okay.
It's
Well,
fine,
the
I'm-
first one I'm gonna put there.
Yeah.
I'm not recording right now, so.
All right. Go ahead now. Record. Is that recording?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. And just.
And this one is
record the whole
recording
time.
too.
All right. Perfect. All right. So you grew up in a family immigrated from Hyderabad. Is that right?
That's correct,
And
in
to
India.
In India, that's right, in U.S. And your love for literature. I heard you're a professor of literature, English. Is that right?
American literature.
American
yes.
literature. So, what was there? Maybe a specific author, a book, maybe or a teacher that first made you feel deeply connected to public life and community?
Well, that's a great question, but you know, it was actually the poets that I worked on for my dissertation that grounded me in the question about what is an American identity. So I began with Walt Whitman in particular, the father of American poetry, who gave voice to that American identity, and the unique language that is a part of our American sensibility. And then I worked my way through the 20th century, and it's really William Carlos Williams who really explores what it means to be an American through his poetry. And so that was the scope that led me, I think, almost directly into the work I'm doing now.
Really? So, we have a lot of Persian poets too. I don't know, do you know any of them?
I unfortunately don't read Farsi, and
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
I was not able to, but I know
All right.
Rumi is
Rumi, of course,
just
we got that.
of course globally renowned.
Right.
And I wish I could read Farsi to understand.
We'll get
the
your
original.
translation version of it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, myself, I immigrated to the U.S. I was from Iran, actually, when I was about 10, 11 years old. And you came to the U.S., I think, based on my research, around 4 years
Yes.
old, right?
Mhm.
And you moved to Georgia, I
Yes.
believe, is that
Yes.
right? Okay,
Mhm.
so that's interesting by itself. What were some challenges you and your family faced as new immigrants in Georgia, and how did it shape your viewpoint?
So, I arrived in Georgia, as you said, when I was 4 years old, and in 1969.
Hmm.
And so it was a
was a
very
different world in
It was a very
Georgia.
different world, and it was still segregated. So I think part of my
Right.
childhood experience is really remembering the ways in which segregation impacted my life, but also my opportunity to observe what was happening. So I was in second grade when my school was desegregated, and I remember the experience of the challenges between black students and white students, and how we worked our way through those difficulties. And that's been a very important part of my own consciousness of American history, American identity, to understand that we are really navigating some complex historical circumstances. We're still responding, even now in 2025, to decades and decades of experiences that so many of our families have gone through.
Right.
And it's very
And it's-
informative.
And I was always curious, where did they find? So obviously, back then it was like colored and whites. Where did they put you?
That was always the question for us. We were the only immigrant family in that
Right.
little town in Georgia.
Right.
And so when we went to our doctor, there was a waiting room for black individuals, a waiting room for white individuals. And it was always a challenge for us to navigate a world that was very black and white, but we
Right.
were a brown family and
Right.
trying to figure out our own space in that. And what I found for myself as a child is that I often served as a bridge. I could be a bridge between my black classmates and friends and my white classmates and friends, and I could help to bring together the two groups in some
Wow.
good ways.
That's powerful. And Georgia's, I have an office in Atlanta as well, and I heard, obviously it's known for peaches, but I think peanuts too,
Peanuts
right?
too, yeah.
All right, maybe your
Yeah.
love of peanuts started from Georgia?
Well, President Carter, one of my favorite presidents who came from Georgia, was a peanut farmer.
Right, that's right. So, I guess let's lead into a little bit politics. What made you go into politics? I mean, you were a professor, so.
I was a mild-mannered English teacher, frankly.
Right.
I love teaching literature, and I love being in the classroom. It was the first election of Donald Trump in 2016. You may recall he came into office on anti-immigrant rhetoric, on bigotry against so many different communities, and in particular, he talked about and imposed a Muslim ban, which created such challenges and hardships. But it also put a target on the backs of Muslims living in this country, and I felt a fundamental responsibility that I had to shatter stereotypes, that I had to stand up, I had to speak out, and I decided to run for office in 2019 for the state Senate seat in the Richmond area, which was a red seat. It was Republican held, and I decided to challenge that and see how far I could get.
Right.
We flipped the seat. We flipped it by 10 points.
Wow. That's just, that was a very contested election, though, I think. So let me take you back a little bit to when you were maybe a student, and I'll show this picture later when I post this. But
Oh my gosh.
where? First of all, where are you in this?
I'm right there.
Oh, okay, that's you right
That's
there.
me.
Okay, so tell me about this picture. What were you doing? Who are they in there? What's
That
their
brings back such memories. So this was the Bell Honors Program at my college. My cohort, which is pictured here, this is just a day before we all graduated college.
Wow.
My cohort was the first group that was selected for a new honors program that was
Wow.
being established at the college. And I'm still very close friends with many of the folks in this picture, and just adore the faculty, leadership, and our president of the college is standing there as well. But it was a unique program. It was interdisciplinary in its classes and taught by multiple faculty, so you could be taking a class in philosophy but also have an art faculty member in there talking about the influence of philosophy on art and vice versa.
Wow.
So it's a very uniquely structured program and gave me excellent grounding in the
Wow.
further academic work that I did.
It's definitely very interesting. So if you looked at, how old were you there?
I was graduating from college, so probably around 21.
21, right. So if you looked at your 21-year-old you to now, how has your outlook in life and values and goals changed since then?
That's a great question. You know, I think so much of the way I was as a young person is still very much with me. I remain an optimist despite the world that we're living in, the challenges that we have. Even back then, I felt really a sense of understanding of the essential goodness of people around me, and I carry that value with me always. Being connected, trying to find optimism, ways in which we can continue dialogue and building community rather than division.
Now, how has that how has your outlook on life changed since then? Any changes since then? Like, I don't know, from what you know now.
Yeah, well, certainly being a mother changes you. Being a parent changes
that's true.
you. The minute you have a baby in your
Right.
arms, you
It's a
look at the
different
world
world.
differently. And I think the greatest change for me is I'm actually less cynical now than I was
Really?
as a 20-year-old. And I'm very, very protective of young people. I want to create a world in which our young folks have every opportunity to thrive and have a beautiful life.
Yeah.
And so it is funny that as I grow older, I've become less cynical rather than more so.
Right. I usually hear the other way. Like,
That's right.
this was back in the day.
Exactly.
Right. Well, that's a good thing. And so you led the Center for Teaching and Learning at Reynolds, right? Reynolds Community College. What's a surprising lesson you took from that experience? Something that still guides your approach today?
I think my biggest takeaway from that is our continuous need for continuous learning. And so my goal through the Center for Teaching Excellence was to help our faculty learn how to be better faculty, how to be better teachers in the classroom. And I learned myself because I engaged in continuous learning. I kept taking classes and engaging in different programs that taught me how to be better as an instructor, as a faculty member. And the one biggest lesson is that we are learning every day, and we have the capacity to keep growing and changing. And it's really important to open ourselves up to that.
Now, that's good. So you were, in that sense, you were teaching teachers how to be better teachers?
Yes.
Is that what was going on?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. You know, that's really important actually, because teaching has changed so much, and I feel like generation to generation, just the way you approach kids or students has changed.
And the growth of technology in
Right.
our classroom, as well as in our pedagogy and our access to technology, our students' access to technology is requiring that we change our approach to teaching and learning.
Now let's, I guess one more question in that portion. With the political climate and how extremely polarized everything has been, I already see you tensing up as I ask this question.
I'll try to
All
relax.
right.
Maybe I need my back cracked.
Right, we'll get that next time. How has working in politics affected your family?
It has cost a lot to my family, and I'm
Right.
very, very thankful that my family has been fully supportive and part of the journey. Now, you know, I didn't run for office until my youngest started college, and that was for a reason. I never wanted to expose my children at a young age to the political world, and I really respect and admire so many of my colleagues who are able to juggle that with young children. But the biggest issue has, of course, been to the adjustments that my family has made.
No pun intended. Adjustments
No,
of my work.
no
Okay.
pun
Okay.
intended. But I'm just so thankful. My husband, in particular, is very supportive. He is my rock. He's the one that helps me keep the work going. He does everything else, so I can focus on
Right.
this work.
That's really important to have someone to hold down the fort, so you
Absolutely.
can fight outside. You know.
Yeah.
So let's go into the campaign and the vision a little bit. You focus on education, healthcare, and actually reproductive rights. I think it's one of your big things. If elected, what's the one issue you'll tackle first as lieutenant governor, and how will Virginians feel the difference?
If I can cheat a little bit, we've got two big issues in
Okay.
front of us that I'm focused on. The first, of course, is healthcare. You know, the gravity of the situation should not be understated, because the cuts to Medicaid are going to be impacting all of our healthcare system, regardless of individuals who have private insurance or not. We're already seeing some devastating effects on our rural hospitals, and that's going to have a ripple effect all across our hospital system. And so tackling the concerns around Medicaid funding, the loss of federal dollars, which we see the Trump administration determined to do, that's something we need to immediately address.
Yeah.
Running side by side with that is the impacts on so many of our vulnerable communities. Immediately in front of us now, of course, are the cuts to SNAP benefits.
Right.
Because of the government shutdown, SNAP dollars were not put into the accounts of our most needy families today.
Right.
Their card should have received the monthly funding for November. We have families who are hungry, we have children who are hungry, seniors and individuals with disability who rely on this essential, you know, for most it's about $150 that,
Right.
to get them through the month, but that means food on their table. And so we have to tackle these two problems immediately as Virginians.
Didn't the SNAP benefits, they sued the federal government, they were able to get it back? Or?
So guess who sued the federal government? 25 Democratic governors and
Right.
attorneys general.
Right.
We have a governor and an attorney general who have not joined that lawsuit. We have an attorney general and a governor who have essentially turned their backs on hungry Virginia families.
It's very sad. So let's go into a little bit overall in Virginia. Virginia is, as you know, is changing politically, culturally, demographically. A lot of people moving in. And how are you planning to genuinely engage with voters who haven't always felt heard? How do you?
I ran for office for that reason.
Right.
I didn't feel that I was being represented or my communities were being represented, and so I ran for office in order to make sure that we have broader representation. And the changing face of the Virginia General Assembly is a sign of great hope. You know, this
Right.
past 2023, we have a wave of many new folks in the General Assembly, many minority groups represented. We have an expanding AAPI caucus, 8 members now.
We have an
And
Iranian
we-
as well. I think she won Senate or.
She's in the House of
Oh,
Delegates.
it's House of Delegates?
Yes,
Okay, yeah,
Delegate
yeah.
Reeser. She's
Alright,
joined us.
my
So,
people, okay.
you know, we have more women. We have a
Good.
lot more young representation
Right.
too. My colleagues are getting younger, which is nice.
Right.
When I came in, I was treated as a young person in my 50s, and now we actually
Wow.
have real young people
Right.
in their 30s. So
Wow.
that's what we need.
It's definitely changed, which is nice.
It's absolutely
Everybody-
necessary.
Right, because everybody has their own perspective, but if we just, yeah, that makes a big difference. Good. So let's gear into the national debt, or maybe actually national debate on education, abortion, and voting rights. But most voters feel those issues get reduced to slogans. So in Virginia, we have, you know, a lot of a lot of debates about these things, and it gets reduced to slogans. How can you tell me maybe one position where your personal conviction conflicts with your party's political calculus? How do you handle that tension?
I don't really have a tension. I don't have a conflict between my personal convictions and what we're focused on. You know, I vote my values and I fight for my values. And actually a lot of those values come from my faith tradition. And so my faith is, and my perspective of my faith is really grounded in social justice. And it can boil down to very simple things, that we feed those who are hungry, that we provide care for those who are sick, we take care of our elders, we provide education to our young. And so I translate those values into legislation. What does it mean to make sure that those who are sick are taken care of? Well, that means a comprehensive and effective healthcare program. Well, what does it mean to educate our young? It means to support public education so that every child in Virginia has access to high quality education. When we are making sure that those who are hungry amongst us are taken care of, we provide the resources and the support. This is the wealthiest country in the world.
Right.
We have the capacity to ensure nobody goes hungry, and those are the values that we need to prioritize to take care of each other.
Right, and you know, just kind of digress a little bit to what's happening in New York City mayoral race. A lot of what you said is where Zohran Mamdani is on the same page. What do you think about what's going on in the race for mayor?
It's very interesting. You know, I've been so focused on my own
Right.
campaign. Zohran, I didn't know who he was until I would say a few months ago when he won the primary.
Indian Muslim. There's a lot of connection there.
There's some connections. Actually, it's his mother that I feel tangentially related to. I had a friend who was a classmate of hers in New Delhi University.
Really?
But I've been a big admirer of her film work and her artistry. So I have loved all of her films. Mississippi Masala in particular resonated with me as a child of the South. So I knew more about her than I did about Zohran. But you know, Zohran's run a really effective campaign. His message is resonating with New Yorkers. I will say what's happening in New York is not quite the same as Virginia. There's a real clear difference between a major metropolitan city like New York and the entire Commonwealth. I'm very focused on Virginia's issues.
Of course. So let's go into a little bit more insightful questions. Now, you made history in Virginia Senate, but has there been a moment, well, as a first Muslim Indian, I would say ever, right, in the Virginia State Senate. But has there ever been a moment that made you stop and realize how much it all means?
Yes, I think in particular it resonates with me when I have young people, young Muslim women, for instance, or even other young women say to me that my campaign and the work that I've been doing has inspired them, that they finally feel that they are seen, that they have a voice. That means a lot to me, because I know when I was a child growing up, I always felt like I didn't see myself reflected, whether it was in government or even in education spaces. In so many spaces, I didn't see myself. I did not find the kind of role models that I was often seeking, because there was just no one quite similar to my own experiences.
Right. Yeah.
So that means a lot to me.
Absolutely. So let's go to let's go back a little bit. If you wake up tomorrow and you weren't in politics and education, what is an unexpected career you would try out just for fun?
Well, I had two choices in front of me when I was thinking about going a different route after teaching for that many years. I thought either I would go into higher education policy or I would do stand-up comedy.
Oh, that's a good one. That's definitely unexpected.
I decided to go into politics because you can do both.
Right, that's right.
So much of politics
Right.
is comedic.
I mean, at this point, it's all a joke. Oh my God.
I didn't quite mean it that way.
Okay. No, I mean.
But I can always go back and try my hand at stand-up comedy.
That's right.
I'm very funny.
Really?
If you haven't figured
I
that
mean,
out.
right.
That's where my humor lies. Nobody else sees it except for me.
Right. That's probably the fun, but at least you make yourself laugh, you know? If
Yes.
they're the ones.
I do.
So let's go into a little bit of maybe some personal stuff. What is some book or film you often return to for comfort and reflection, especially on your like tough days?
I want to say The Shining. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
That is one of my favorite movies. But
Right.
my favorite movie of all time is that childhood classic, The Sound of Music. Who hasn't
Right.
seen? I've
Oh,
seen it
yeah.
500 times.
Oh,
But in terms of favorite books, there are some books that I actually reread, and some of them are Toni Morrison's books. You know, Beloved, Song of Solomon. I taught those often. I often go back to some childhood favorites. Wrinkle in Time was my favorite when I was a kid.
Classic, yeah.
And I love Moby Dick, so
Yeah.
I've read Moby Dick a few times.
I thought you were gonna say the food, but that's usually the Moby Dick kebabs we have all over the MV.
We
Yeah,
always
but
have
Moby
comfort
Dick.
food.
Right. So, what about maybe small habits or rituals that you on the campaign trail that helps you stay grounded?
It is very hard. The campaign schedule is a
Right.
grind, and I've been doing this now for 19 months. It has really been tough. You know, the primary was difficult, and then now. So what I try to do every morning, I love chai. I make my Indian tea, chai in the morning.
That's delicious.
And I try to set my timer for 15 minutes, and I try to just read for pleasure for
Right.
15 minutes every morning. That
Wow.
helps me get started for the day.
That when you said chai, so my brother-in-law is also Indian Muslim too, and we love his chai. Like we
Yeah.
go there, actually, you gotta make us chai. He's like, all right, make it for everybody in the house. Oh yeah, definitely my mouth watered for that. So we're getting down to the bottom of it. So let's imagine we're doing this interview maybe 4 or 5 years from now, and you're done with your lieutenant governor tenure. What's the accomplishment you hope will surprise people the most?
I'm not sure if it'll surprise people, but one of my goals for these next 4 years is to really make education accessible. We're very close in Virginia to providing at least a 2-year community college degree at no cost. We've done it for several programs that are high workforce demand areas, such as in technology, manufacturing, and education, and healthcare positions. So a lot of those degree programs are already offered at no tuition cost to folks in Virginia. We can expand that a little bit further, and we can ensure that every Virginian has the opportunity to get at least a 2-year
Right.
credential or degree. That helps improve our qualified workforce. We get the talent, we're able to retain the talent here, we're able to attract strong businesses
Right.
that help to grow our economy. It is a wonderful cycle of infusing economic support and development into our communities by ensuring that we have skills and workforce ready to take those jobs.
That's huge. I mean, I would say if that would definitely surprise me for sure. If you're able to get two years of free community college, you
Community
said?
college, yeah.
Oh, that would definitely help out. Well, Senator Hashmi, this concludes our podcast. Thank you so much for coming on today. I look forward to having you break down walls, break down barriers, shatter glass ceilings, and open doors for the next generation. And I'm excited to see what's next to come for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Wonderful to be here.
Thank you. Done.
Thank you.
Perfect. Good. All right. This was a